So, as I continued, started earlier, now we slowly can go into the pronunciations of these Russian letters. So, as in any languages, first we have to learn the alphabet and we have to really familiarize with that. And the pronunciation and the exact soundings of those words are really important. So, with that, okay, in mind, I'll just start my session for today where we are going to concentrate on the Russian alphabet. The first sound, okay, of the first sound or the first letter that the Russian alphabet starts with is called A. Here you can see the first letter where I would be placing a dot on that as well. So y'all can concentrate on that. Yes. Here, the first sound is called A. Y'all can shout out loud because I always usually advise my clients and students to get in a separate room, and you should never be shy to shout out on the sounds, because as we are doing online classes, you should be really not to be really shy and just come out of the situation and to help yourself. So the first sound, ah, you can just come out with me. Yes, ah. And the next letter, yes. Even though it looks like a bit of B, even though it really is not, it sounds like B. B. So the English equivalent of B. So we have gone through A, which is the English equivalent of A, and B, which is B. Right, the third letter. So from here on, things will start to change. It will change from the English alphabet of following. So this, the third letter, sounds as V, V, which is the English equivalent of V. You can take down notes as well, like whichever the language you follow, you can write it down. So we have learned three letters: A, B, V. Then we go on to the fourth letter, which sounds like G, which is the English equivalent of G. Yes, I'll mark that as well. So we have already done four letters: A, B, V, G. The fifth letter, the, the. Right. So this would be the English equivalent of D, D, D for dog in the sense in English, and this would sound like the for dom. Dom means a home, a house in Russian language. Dom sounds like the. Then we go on to the next letter, which is almost the English E, but we sound it as yeah, yeah. Right. Okay, so since that is much more similar to the English soundings, I'll skip on to the next letter, which has a E with two dots on top. This is a really interesting word to know, because have you all played with yo-yo? Yes, I have. So, but the sounding of this word still goes like that. Yo. Yo is the sounding of this letter. So still we don't have any equivalent of that in English, the alphabet. This is yo. Right. Then we have a very different, something like a symbol, the letter, the one before the last on the first line. The sounding of this letter would be j, j. Still, I don't find any equivalent in English, even though it drags more towards the J word, in J letter in English. It sounds like J. You can repeat along with me. Shout out loud, otherwise we are never going to finish off this. Okay. The last one on the first line. It sounds like Z. This has an English equivalent which is almost similar to Z. 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 Like Zavod. Zapad. Okay, some words in Russian like Zavod is factory. Right, then we go on to the first letter of the second line, which sounds like E. E means, which is the equivalent of Russian English I. Sorry, English I. Like E. Right. Then we go on to the next one, which has a Now, the E letter itself with a small half elliptical sign on top. So this would be something like E, where we go on to give it a little bit of pressure, speed breaker to the same letter E. Right, but still don't worry. Just I'm like rushing through. This is just an intro video to give shed some light. Still, an ongoing process, and while learning words, this would be much more easy with your. Right, then we have some other word. Then third letter, which is almost similar and equivalent to the English K and sounds like K. Right, so the next letter, L, this one, M, M, N. Here I just rushed through because KLM, KLM is almost English continuation, KLM. The same, the sounds are same. Once here or just here, the letter that looks like H, that's we have where we have to be concentrating more because even though this has the English H, this is sounding to be the Russian equivalent of, I'm sorry, the English equivalent of N, the Russian, because the sound of this is going to be na, na, na. That means that even though this is written as the English H, this is going to sound like na, na, N. Right, then we rush out to the next O. It's the same. It's the same sound as in English. O. Right, then we go on to the next letter, which has some peculiarity, something like N, the English N. But this is going to be the Russian per, per, per. I hope you get my pronunciations well. Just drag on with me. Per. Right. So I just circle these letters because these are the ones which are really fishy and we had to concentrate on because our eyes were trained to see these letters and sound them in a different pronunciation or spelling. But suddenly we have to train our brains to give them in a different pattern as well. So here we go. So the next one, here we see something like the English P, which is going to sound like the Russian. In Russian, it's going to sound like R, right? R, which is equivalent of the Russian R sound. R, R, R. I need your tongue needs to vibrate. R. Okay, right. Then we go on to the next letter, which looks like the English C. This sound is obviously going to give the English S sound. Sir. Even though we write it on as the English C letter, this is going to sound the sound as the English S. C. Sir. The sounding of the letter is sir. Sir. The next letter, we have the English T. It's going to sound like th, th, tort. Tort means cake in Russian. Tort, th, th. The sounding is really important. I repeatedly ask you to repeat with me. Th. Here we have th. Right. The next something which is similar, not similar, identical to Russian. Why? But this sounds like ooh. This is the ooh sounding in Russian. Ooh. Something like if you the double O sound that is given in English. This sounds like ooh. Yes, we go on to the next letter. This, you can just compare this to the next letter, the English F equivalent. You're going to sound it like fur, fur, fur. Right, the writing that you don't have to worry right now. I'll be training you right then and there. So today our concentration is on pronunciations alone. So that sound will be fur. Right, the English equivalent of F. Okay, the next letter is like the English X. How is it going to sound? It's going to sound her, her, her. Right, since that's a bit little familiar and goes parallelly with the English soundings, I'll shift on to the next new letter. Here we have something like, right, this one, It's it's wow. This sounding is really new, totally new, because we don't find anything in the English alphabet as such. Here we have it's. So you get to sound out with me. Otherwise, we will never practice it. It's right, right. The next one. Then letter. This letter is called the ch sounding. Ch. Like in the case of if you're using the word church in English. Ch, ch, ch. The sounding of this letter is ch. Right. The next one, which almost looks like a W. Not a beautiful sign in my perspective. This gives a sound of sha, like SHA. If you sound that together, sha, sha, sha. So that's really good. Okay, sha. Just practice out with along with me. The next letter. Here, we have something like this, which gives the sounding of sh, sh, SCH together. How would you sound that? Sh. Right. We can practice that alone. Just repeatedly practice that. The next letter is known as the Tvodvisna. That means actually this plus the two letters following this letter, they don't actually have any special soundings. Tvodvisnaks, either or this is called the hard consonant. Right? I'll teach you all like in the future because when this is used to actually increase the volume of the letter preceding it. So the next one, this is called as the E, because actually this letter gives some stress onto the letter which is preceded by this. Right, so this is E for now. The next third letter as such. Here this goes and this would be the Matsna, because this will actually decrease the sound of the consonant or the letter which is preceding this. Right, we'll go on with practice. This will work out. No, not worry with now. You can watch the other videos and get an idea of this as well. Right, well, we have this one. Well, this looks like, I think many of you have already figured out, this looks like the euro sign. Yeah, obviously, yes. But this sounds like yeah. Yes, we had a year earlier, which is looks like the English, which look like the English E, but this gives small stress again. Yeah, yeah, bro, something like that. Yeah, that sounding. You have to get through that. Wow. Okay, done with that. We have just left to the final two words. Fine. These two words I really find this very interesting words because you can get a lot of words and a lot of names starting with this. Right, this letter, which is really, I think, the fusion of a O plus an H from English. So the sounding of this letter goes with like you, like in the case of girl's name Yulia, because we don't have Julias in Russia. They are called as Yulia. So I need you to spell it in that proper way with the correct pronunciation. You. Yes. So we are done with that. The last letter. Right. It actually seems to be the reverse of R in my perspective. I see it like that. And this letter is so special because it is the only. It is one of the Russian letters that has meaning by itself. First of all, I'll finish with the sounding. The sounding is right. Yeah, yeah, like YA. In English, how do we pronounce YA? It's like yeah. So that's the pronunciation here as well. Yeah is the pronouncing of that letter. Yablaka. Yablaka means apple. And as I said, it itself has meaning. Yeah. Yeah means I. Right. I am David. I am Robin. That has the meaning of I. You say like yeah, Robin. Yeah, David. I am Robin. I am David. So it goes on like that. Right. So I'll just come to the finishing of this first day one lecture. So in any case, we have a long theme of many themes to be completed in our Russian course. Out of that, this has to be the basic, and I want you all to repeat this multiple times as well, because with the pronouncing and the knowing of the letters, we can just drag on briskly, quickly with the other classes. Because if you are familiar with this, it doesn't take much time as it did on the first day. So with that, I'll just check out. So hopefully we need to hear from you more. If you possible, you could just give us a like or thumbs up if you really like our class. I'll be grateful for that. Thank you, and looking forward to hear from you.